I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Or maybe it's an insecurity. As someone who calls themselves an artist, I feel like I actually haven't created that much art. I think it's because the fear of making something worth sharing has kept me from making art at all. So depressing to say out loud. That makes me think of all of the art that I have kept inside because of the fear that it would be shite. Let me frame it this way. Right now, it takes me a long time to edit and shoot and write these videos, and that's because I haven't yet refined my skills of content creation or YouTubing or whatever this is. Maybe 10 people are going to see this video, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. Now is when I get to experiment and focus on refining my skills without worrying so much about making something 100% perfect, with the added pressure of a larger audience seeing it. That being said, this right now is my warm-up. I still struggle with perfectionism and with the anxiety of making something worth sharing, and that keeps me from making things sometimes. It's why doodling for 15 minutes a day has proven to be really helpful for me. It removes the pressure of anyone else's eyes but my own seeing it. It is creating just for the sake of creating. And for that reason, the warm-up is everything. Warming up to get into a creative exercise can look like a 10-minute doodle, or messing around with a bunch of supplies you never use, or really just anything that helps you get into a more creative brain space. Just like with physical exercise, warming up finely tunes hand-eye coordination, it loosens muscles, and it eases you into focus. And in creative ways, that can be generating ideas, or for me, it is really helpful in getting over the anxiety of a naked canvas. It's like the saying, starting is the hardest part, but even reverses that, because if you can tell yourself it's just the warm-up, then it doesn't even really feel like you're starting yet. To drive this physical analogy home with something that I'm sure we're all familiar with, it's how you tend to injure yourself if you haven't done your warm-up first. And in creative ways, I know I tend to run into more frustrations or creative blocks if I haven't done the warming up yet. I've also made a lot of my favorite works in this warm-up phase, and I attribute that completely to the removal of this audience anxiety. That being said, everybody's process is different, and some people don't require this warm-up phase to get into a main project. And if you're one of these people, tell me your secrets. If you're like me and you struggle with sharing anxiety, I highly recommend a warm-up period of 10 minutes even, or even just carving out some time for yourself to make something that is strictly for your eyes only. There's a lot of messaging in the creative spaces right now around making bad art, which is really just the practice of getting out of your comfort zone for the sake of learning and growing, rather than making something that other people deem good, or even worse, not making anything at all because of all the pressure that comes with that. Warming up can be under this umbrella of making bad art in a way that it clears the mind for experimentation and for play instead of external validation.
Yes, science!
Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and thank you very much for being here for me during my warm-up phase. I am so grateful for all 10 of you. It'll be really sweet down the line when we can all see how far I've come from these here beginner days. No flyaways. Okay. Run it. They've been... Probably all too familiar with. I think we're all gonna look... God, that is... Video... content, content creation. Now is when, and the pressure, the anxiety to let the art flow freely through me, and refine my skills and work is has proven to be really helpful for me in the high desert.